So I want to start making videos sharing about things that I've learned, my personal experiences, reflections, and anything else that I feel may be helpful or interesting to other people. Because I feel like I've gone through a lot in my life and I'm constantly shifting and growing. And I don't know, I've always loved to share my knowledge and experiences with people to help them, to inspire them, or just as a form of self-expression and documentation of my own growth journey and seeing how far I've come all these years. Yeah, I feel like I'm going through a transformation every couple of months. It's pretty crazy, but also very cool. Like, I am completely drastically different from how I am a couple years ago. Unrecognizable. And I wonder if in a couple years I would look back on these videos and think the same. Who knows? But anyway, I guess this is the first video in this series that I'm starting, and hopefully I will be consistent with this. And I wanted to talk about earthing or grounding today, because I've been diving really deep into the rabbit hole of quantum biology, and it is fascinating and I'm so passionate about it. There are a lot of things to go into in quantum biology, but I think earthing and grounding is an easy one and a pretty fundamental one. But first, I guess, let me talk a little bit more about quantum biology, because I think most people don't know what that is. It's pretty much looking at our biology and health from the lens or perspective of biophysics rather than biochemistry, which is what people are usually focused on when they think about health. You know, the food that they eat, supplements, exercise. And while those things are still important, biophysics really focuses on more fundamental stuff like light, water, and magnetism. So, grounding. Grounding or earthing is when you touch your bare skin to the earth. So, touching a tree, walking barefoot on the grass, going to the ocean, walking on sand, any natural earth surface that you are in contact with your bare skin is considered grounding. And why that is super beneficial for us is because our bodies actually prefer to have a negative charge. And I'm not sure if some of you have heard of the term alkaline versus acidic, but pretty much we want our body to be alkaline. And that is equivalent to having a negative charge in our bodies, because having a positive charge or, being acidic would mean that you have inflammation in your body. And inflammation is pretty much just chaos happening within a certain body part or on a cellular level. And inflammation will eventually lead to disease, which is why we don't want inflammation, where we want to try to calm it to a natural level, healthy level. So the Earth's surface has a negative charge, and it has an abundance of free electrons. And every time we come in contact with the Earth through our bare skin, we are actually sucking up those free electrons into our bodies, and that is instantaneous, which is very cool. The second that you touch your hand on a tree, a leaf, or you step your foot on grass barefoot, you're getting these free electrons flowing into your body, and that is instantly calming down any inflammation that you have. It is pretty much providing antioxidants to your body, free antioxidants, just by touching your skin to the earth. That is super, super, super cool. And another thing that earthing does is it lowers your blood pressure, because your red blood cells also prefers to have a negative charge. And if your cells are healthy and they all have a negative charge, think about magnets, right? When you try to put two ends of the negative magnets together, they repel. Like no matter how hard you try, you can't get the magnets to touch. So same thing happens with our red blood cells. When they have negative charge, they're kind of spaced out from each other. But once we start to lose the negative charge through, bad dietary choices, living indoors, being disconnected from nature, non-native EMF exposure, all these things, eating junk food, all these things will start to erase or take away that negative charge of the red blood cells, and some of them may turn into a positive charge. And when that happens, the red blood cells with the positive charge will start to stick to the cells that still have a negative charge. And so you start to get these blood cells stacking on top of each other, and that is very dangerous because that could form blood clots in your body, and we don't want that. And earthing helps with that because it's helping to restore that negative charge in your body. And earthing has been shown to really lift your mood and be a good way to alleviate stress. And we all know that stress is very damaging to our bodies. And I don't know if you've ever just, walked barefoot onto the grass and just felt this sense of peace and calm. But that is powerful, being in that state of frequency, good energy, peaceful, calm state of mind is powerful. So yeah, these are some of the benefits of earthing. There are actually a ton more. If you're interested, I would recommend you researching a little bit more into it. But yeah, I would really encourage you to start implementing this into your life because it's so easy. It's low-hanging fruit. And all you have to do is take maybe 5 minutes every day to ground yourself, either through touching a tree that is rooted in the earth or just barefoot on the grass. But you want to make sure that the grass that you're walking on hasn't been sprayed with a bunch of pesticides and herbicide, because you don't want to be absorbing that into your skin. Or if you live next to the beach, going to the ocean is probably the best way to ground, because actually moisture will help facilitate that electron flow. And being in the ocean is just one of the most amazing feelings ever, I think. Otherwise, you can also get, this is a grounding shoe. Sorry, it's kind of dirty. I was wearing this outside today walking in the park. This is a grounding shoe, and this copper right here is conductive. So when you're wearing these shoes, it allows you to pick up electrons from the earth even though you're not in direct contact with it. And the shoes that I'm wearing is called Earth Runners. It is also a minimalist footwear. Excuse me. So I guess just a little bit more about minimalist footwear, but our feet are actually meant to be not constricted within really narrow shoes. And we're always wearing heavily cushioned shoes that actually weakens our feet and our ankles and our joints over time, because it's just not getting the correct motion, and it's so sheltered inside the shoe that we don't really get to exercise in the way that it's meant to be used. So just a side note on these minimalist footwear plus the grounding aspect of it is really cool. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you all today, and I hope you have a good rest of your day or night, and see you in the next video. I'm also recording this in my garage because this is the only spot I find with good lighting, so yeah.